Manchester United has beaten Liverpool 3-2. They secure Champions League football. Michael Carrick has moved one step closer to the permanent job. But this match was much bigger than the result because in the 77th minute, Kobbie Mainoo did something that felt symbolic. Welcome to PN Playbook, where we try and understand why this goal has changed Manchester United's entire future. Because in the 77th minute, Kobbie Mainoo was just near the edge of the box. It was an absolute loose ball. The ball was having a top spin going the other way. Liverpool players had just rushed out. Dominic Szoboszlai slid in. Old Trafford was nervous, and Kobbie Mainoo, my God, that kid is calm, composed, absolute one touch, one finish, bottom corner. The scoreline reads Manchester United 3, Liverpool 2. But this was not just a winning goal. It was a message to a man called as Ruben Amorim, who never fully trusted him, to Michael Carrick, who gave him enough belief, to all the Manchester United fans who've been waiting for something real. And maybe most importantly, it was a message to the club that you're becoming something special all over again. Look, under Michael Carrick, United are nowhere close to perfect. But on Sunday, they finally looked like a team with identity, confidence, and structure. And the heart of the identity was Kobbie Mainoo. And this is the story of how one goal against Liverpool revealed the biggest truth for United. Because Michael Carrick has changed Manchester United, and Mainoo is the proof. Look, Manchester United versus Liverpool is not just a football match. ये कोई लोकल डार्बी से छोटी गेम तो है नहीं. ये बहुत बड़ी हिस्टोरिक फिक्चर है. पूरी दुनिया देखती है. यूरोप देखता है, यूएस से देखते हैं, ऑस्ट्रेलिया से देखते हैं. जो भी पार्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड में हो आप वहाँ से तो देखोगे ये गेम. इसमें राइवलरी है, इमोशन है, प्राइड है, और इस बार कुछ स्टेक्स ज़्यादा ही थे. यूनाइटेड को 2 पॉइंट चाहिए थे चैंपियंस लीग फुटबॉल के लिए, और लिवरपूल तो मतलब 450 मिलियन खर्च करने के बाद कोई ट्रॉफी नहीं जीत रही, और उनका हालत ऐसा है कि अब आर्ने स्लॉट को सैक भी नहीं कर सकते, कुछ बोल ही नहीं सकते उनके बारे में. बट ओल्ड ट्रैफर्ड काफ़ी टेंस था, क्योंकि ये दो पॉइंट है, और लिवरपूल जैसी टीम के साथ अगर आपको 2 पॉइंट 3 पॉइंट चाहिए तो थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है. एंड यूनाइटेड स्टार्टेड लाइक अ टीम. दे स्टार्टेड विद अ प्लान. 6th minute, Matthias Cunha gets the ball, scores. Old Trafford goes berserk. 14th minute, Benjamin Sesko scores. United 2-0 up. Liverpool absolutely shaking. United flying. And for a moment it looked लिवरपूल के लिए काफ़ी अगली सा गेम होने वाला है. बट मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड का सीजन सिंपल कहाँ होता है. सेकेंड हाफ चालू होते ही हमने 2 गोल दे दिए. अमाद के पास बॉल मिलता है, वो मिसप्लेस करता है, सबोजलाई लेता है बॉल और यूनाइटेड को पनिश करता है. सोने लेमेंस, जो यूनाइटेड का पॉसिबली वन ऑफ द बेस्ट प्लेयर्स ऑफ द सीजन रहा है, एक ऐसा पास करता है जिससे हमें ओनाना की याद आ गई. लिवरपूल पनिश अगेन. ऑफ ऑल द प्लेयर्स इन द वर्ल्ड, कोडी गैक्पो स्कोर्स इट 2-2. सडनली ओल्ड ट्रैफर्ड का मूड चेंज हो जाता है. फ्रॉम सेलिब्रेशन टू टेंशन, फ्रॉम कंट्रोल टू केओस, फ्रॉम वीव गॉट दिस टू नॉट अगेन, because United fans have seen this movie before. A good start, one mistake leads to second, then panic and collapse. But this time the ending was different. United did not disappear. They found a response, and the response came from a player who now feels impossible to even leave out. The player being Kobbie Mainoo. 77th minute, when Liverpool players did not think that Kobbie Mainoo can be dangerous, that's when the game changed. Now, this is the kind of moment where many players panic. The ball is bouncing, bodies everywhere, Szoboszlai sliding in, crowd is screaming, pressure is immense. Mainoo plays like the stadium is silent and as if it's a training ground. Because he does not smash it blindly, he does not rush, he does not freeze, he just guides into the bottom corner, and that is what makes Kobbie Mainoo extra special. Because it is not just talent, it is temperament. And there are players who look good when the game is calm. Mainoo looks alive when the game is dangerous and it is chaotic. Think about his winners. FA Cup final against Man City, equalizer against Lyon, late winner at Wolves, that beautiful goal against Liverpool couple of years back, and now yesterday against Liverpool when the game was at 2-2. United needed a point more to win the game, and he scores. Remember, some player collect goals. Mainoo collect moments, and that is rare, because at Manchester United talent is important but personality is everything. The shirt is too heavy. Old Trafford is too loud. Experiences are brutal. If you want to become a serious Manchester United player, you need more than just ability. You need nerve. Mainoo has it and has it in loads. And yet again, against Liverpool, he showed it. After the match, Kobbie Mainoo was still on the pitch doing his media duties for BBC and Sky, and then the Stretfortons started singing his name. The chant basically said, United can't play without you. And honestly, where will United be without you and Bruno? That line says everything about this season. A year ago, if you had sung that chant, it would have felt like a fan emotion. And now it sounds like the ultimate truth. Because we all forget where the situation was last year. Ruben Amorim felt that Mainoo was more a question. Where does he fit? Is he physical enough? Can he cover ground? Can he handle the system? But under Carrick, Mainoo is no longer a question. He's an answer. Carrick has started him wherever he has been available. That is not just rotation, that is just trust. I think he's missed only one game because of an injury. A young player can have all the talent in the world, but if every mistake feels like a punishment, he starts playing safely. He stops taking risk. He stops turning under pressure. He starts to play the final ball. And when a manager believes in you, something changes. You demand possession. You carry it forward. You play like you belong. That is what Carrick has done with Kobbie Mainoo. And that is why Kobbie Mainoo looks so different right now. Because he was always talented. He just finally got a manager who treats him like he matters the most. हमने पिछले वीडियो में कहा था कि माइनो का बिगेस्ट स्ट्रेंथ क्या है. वो कोई पासिंग नहीं है, वो ड्रिबलिंग नहीं है, कोई बड़े मोमेंट्स में गोल नहीं है. उसका स्ट्रेंथ है कामनेस. मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड के पास अगर आप सोचो तो कितने सारे इमोशनल प्लेयर्स हैं. ब्रूनो जो हमेशा हाई इमोशन पे रहता है और रिस्क पे खेलता है. अमाद जो इंस्टिंक्ट पे खेलता है. शेस्को जो मोमेंट पे खेलता है. एम्बुओमो जो बहुत डायरेक्ट है. और एवरी इमोशनल टीम नीड्स वन प्लेयर हु कैन स्लो द हार्ट बीट, एंड दैट इज कोबी माइनो. When the game becomes frantic, when the game becomes chaotic, he receives the ball, he can turn. When the midfield becomes overcrowded, he finds a way out. When the match becomes absolute madness, he brings silence. Sometimes that is priceless in modern football. Because for years, United's biggest problem was not the talent, it's been control. They can create moments, they can produce drama, they can counter attack, they can survive. But can they control? Can they manage games? Can they dictate tempo? Can they turn emotional football into intelligent football? Mainoo gives them responsibility and Mainoo gives them the possibility. Look, he's not Michael Carrick regenerational player, or he's not a Michael Carrick 2.0. The comparison is too simple. But Carrick probably sees something in him that he values deeply. A player who does not panic, a player who connects faces. He gives Carrick's system a balance. Let's zoom out a bit. Because Mainoo is the face of the story, but Carrick's improvement is bigger than one player. Harry Maguire said it simply after the Brentford game. United are better in both boxes, and sometimes football is very simple. Can you defend your own box? And can you finish inside their box? Under Carrick, United are possibly doing both. They look more clinical in attack. They do not look nervous in big moments. Benjamin Sesko is the perfect example. Earlier in the season, Sesko looked heavy mentally, not just physically. The price tag looked like it was just weighing on him. He rushed chances, he looked tense. He played like every miss was becoming a story. And in fact, Athletic even said without him actually doing anything that he's the worst signing. But under Carrick, he looks a lot calmer. Better touches, cleaner finishes, more conviction. That is confidence. And confidence is tactical. Look, they do not snatch at moments. They play with clarity. And that is what Michael Carrick has restored. There is no magic. There is no revolutionary system. Now, this entire system revolves around three things: simplicity, belief, clarity. And sometimes that is enough to transform an entire team. Defensively, Carrick has just changed it, and change is very obvious, right? He's moved to a back four. Under Amorim, it was a back three. United often were left exposed. Wing backs pushed high, spaces opened up. United looked vulnerable when they lost the ball. Carrick has made them more stable. The back four gives clear distances. Centre backs look more comfortable. United are conceding fewer dangerous counter attacks. This also helps Harry Maguire, because Maguire has his weakness. Put him in huge spaces and he can suffer. But inside the box, he's excellent. Headers, blocks, clearances, last minute defending, that is his zone. Carrick has built a structure that lets United and Maguire defend where he's strongest. That is what good players do. That is what good managers do. They do not just force players into their favorite system. They ask, how do I get the best out of the system? But let's not get carried away. United are improving. They are not complete. Against Liverpool, they were 2-0 up and still allowed the game to become 2-2. Against stronger teams, those lapses can destroy you. Also, clinical finishing is great, but long-term United need repeatable chance conversion. They need patterns. They need control. They need to dominate games, not just win emotional battles. And that is Carrick's next challenge. That phase of first 3 months, what he did the job since January, that was rescue. That was stabilize the team, restore the beliefs, get the result, qualify for the Champions League. He's done that. The next phase is harder. Build a team that can compete with Arsenal and Man City. Build a team that does not just react to chaos but controls it. And again, that is why Kobbie Mainoo matters. Because if United want to become serious, they need a midfield that can manage games. Mainoo is not the whole solution, but he might just be the starting point. Now, this brings a bigger question. Has Michael Carrick done enough to get the permanent job? Emotionally, many United fans will say yes, but for football clubs, they cannot make emotional decisions. United need to ask serious question. What is Carrick's tactical ceiling? Can he dominate possession? Can he handle recruitment? Can he survive bad runs? Can he build a title challenging team? These questions matter if you are managing Manchester United. But here is the other side which I think Michael Carrick can realistically say. I have taken over a confused team. I have restored confidence. I have changed the shape. I have improved both boxes. I have improved players. I have revived a guy who was going to leave in January called as Kobbie Mainoo. I have got United into Champions League with 3 games to spare. I have beat Liverpool. I have beat Man City. I have beat Arsenal away, and the players clearly believe in him. At some point, the evidence becomes too difficult to ignore. That is not just a new manager bounce, that is a team responding to leadership. Carrick has not only changed results, he's changed the feeling around Manchester United. And at a club like United, that feeling matters more than what people realize. So what did Kobbie Mainoo's goal really mean? It meant Champions League qualification, it meant victory over Liverpool. It also meant an iconic academy moment at Old Trafford. But more than that, it meant Manchester United have found something real again. For years, United have searched for identity in managers, systems, transfers, rebuilds, slogans. But sometimes identity comes from something simpler. A team that knows its strength, a manager who trusts its player, a young academy midfielder who plays without fear. That is why Mainoo's goal felt bigger than a goal. Because under Amorim, Mainoo was a question mark. Under Carrick, he's an exclamation mark. And that might just be the biggest compliment to Michael Carrick. He's not just picked Kobbie Mainoo, he's created the conditions for Mainoo to become important. But for the first time in a long time in Manchester United's history, you can see the outline of something. A manager with belief, a manager with clarity, a team with calmness, a team with structure, a striker with confidence, a defense with pride, and center of it all, a boy wonder from the academy, Kobbie Mainoo, the symbol, the match winner. A player who showed Manchester United what the future should actually look like. A player who turned Liverpool's chaos into United's clarity. So now, I want to know your opinion. Drop in your comments and let me know. Should Michael Carrick get Manchester United's job permanently? Or is Kobbie Mainoo reached the stage of Bruno Fernandes and is absolutely undroppable? Comment below. If you enjoy calm, tactical, intelligent football analysis, subscribe to PN Playbook, because here we just don't look at the score. We break down the story behind the score. Thank you.